Nets Kingdom.
Fuck that house now. I'm back. To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it. Niggas just can't take it.
YouTube, it's boy AJ. I'm here with Cypher and Pete. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. It's Nets Kingdom. We're back. First game of the season, first loss of the season. So we're on tank duty. We are tank duty. But before I talk to you guys, just want to mention we're sponsored now. We have teamed up with Dark Horse. Shout out to Dark Horse New York City. We have a Cam Thomas giveaway. So this drop goes live Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Giveaway rules: you must be following us on Twitter, Nets Kingdom, Dark Horse on Twitter. Repost that tweet. Must be signed up for early access at darkhorsenewyorkcity.com. So winners will be announced on Saturday. So make sure you guys tap in if you want free CT merch. We're gonna have the merch show to you on the screen. It's really nice. They got hoodies, crew necks, t-shirts, whatever you guys, your hats. So tap in if you want some free CT merch. Shout out to Cam Thomas. But yeah, so hit that like button. We're going to talk about the rookies starting off. Like, this was a really, really interesting game. But I knew the Hornets had talent, but I knew, we kind of stayed in competitive during this whole game. I'm not even going to break down the stats or, the nuances of the game. But I really appreciate the just Nets basketball being back for the first one and seeing the rookies play, because this was the game where Jordy played almost all the rookies, guys. Like, how are y'all feeling watching this before we get into it?
Go ahead, Saif.
Okay, so first quarter was competitive.
Yeah.
They're only down by 6 at the end. It was just rough. It was rough to watch. These guys, okay, so transition defense was terrible. These guys just, they could not run. The Hornets just ran them the whole game, got a bunch of dunks in transition, plenty of live ball turnovers, looked ugly. And then in the half court, they kept spamming these DHOs with Claxton. No advantage was created with either through Saraf or Cam Thomas or MPJ. And it was just tough shot making. And whenever these guys would get into the paint, specifically Thomas, there was just no kickouts to the shooters, and it was just a tough paint shot. And look, he got to the line plenty, but I don't know, it was just an ugly game. And then the Hornets just took over by the third quarter, midway through the third quarter. And that's when Jordy just started playing musical chairs with the lineups, and it was over. It was pretty much over.
Yeah, and the good part about this is that we got to see everybody play kind of. I know it sucks that Drake Powell got hurt. Starting off with Egor Demin, 14 points, 4 for 6. He really looked good from three. What was your key thing about Egor tonight, bro? What did you see that kind of was a positive first, and then we get to the negative?
I like that the shooting stroke was beautiful. We saw in college it had a little bit of a hitch in there, and we really got one game to see him against Toronto in the preseason.
Yeah.
He looks like he's confident with the shot. I think that he has a little work to do in some areas, but we'll get to that. I got to give him an A+ for the first game. I think they had a stat that said he's the first Nets rookie to hit 3 3-pointers in their first NBA game. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I really liked. We saw this and I think us studying Egor so much when he was at BYU, and then trying to figure out is this guy really a consistent shooter? And then shout out to Chubbs when we were talking about it in the chat, when he went to the combine and impressed. Well, I think it wasn't the combine. I think it might have been the individual workouts or his HC at the workout. He hit 14 or 15, 16 threes in a row. And then we saw his mechanics start to change, and it gets better and better every time. And now it's just really, really fluid, really pretty mechanics. And it's translating for the first game, at least. And we've seen throughout summer league and preseason that it's been shooting. That's the good part about him, the positive,
That was the combine, by the way, that you mentioned.
Was the combine. Okay.
Yeah.
Demin,
and go ahead, Steph.
Demin, he deserves a ton of praise because we did 2 episodes on him and his ceiling and his capabilities. Shooting was bad in college, like pretty objectively. And he completely reworked his jump shot. He got into the gym, changed his form, and it looks amazing. Like he's swishing all these shots. Some of this is off the dribble, spot ups, and the jump shot looks great.
High release. It's like picture perfect high release, perfect jump shot. Like it's really nice. Really nice.
Elite shooter. Today's Drazen's birthday, so honor of him. Great shooter. Great net shooter. So that's the great part. And look, 14 points, 4 of 6 shooting, had a couple of nice dimes. Defense was a little spotty here and there. I like the defensive rim attempts there that he had. Good rebounding. So he has value as a 3-and-D wing, which was fundamentally different from what he was in college as a pick and roll ball handler. Those are the positives. Like the jump shot looks excellent. Like it really does look elite. The weaknesses are the ball handling. Like there were several times where he almost turned the ball over trying to dribble the ball up the court. Kind of struggled with ball pressure, which he also did in college, so that's not much of a surprise. Not much separation created. Not much, attacking off the catch. Whenever he had to dribble the ball in the half court, it didn't look that good. Not worried about it long term. Look, that's something he'll get used to. I feel a lot more confident with Demin's floor. Like, I don't think he's going to be a bust because of the shooting. But, if he wants to be like a good, effective NBA player, he's got to work on the handle and being more of a connector.
Yeah. I think the dream of, I know like we were sold Egor was going to be the Russian Magic Johnson. He was going to be the point guard. Like that was his like brand coming into the league. I guess coming into the draft, he was heralded as the best passer in the draft. Right. And now it's like we're at that point where it's like we're gonna have to turn Egor into a wing, and it's not a bad thing because that means his floor is gonna be pretty safe, like Cypher's saying. But we have to throw away that dream of him being kind of like a lead initiator, point guard duties. He can be a secondary, tertiary, maybe at times. You can put him on the wing and do pick and rolls on the wing side, but at most, it's like he'll kind of give us that Joe Harris, Joe Ingles type feel, but with a little bit more better physical tools and wingspan.
The unfortunate part about Demin, and this isn't his fault, but going into the draft, and there's going to be revisionist history here by a bunch of Nets fans, but going into the draft, like the expectation was we need to get a star with his 8th pick, and he is going to be punished for that by some parts of the fan base, which is like unfortunate because I'm sure he'll be a good player because he has the shooting down. And look, there were guys like taken before him that are definitely going to pop off. And unfortunately, he is going to be compared to guys like Malawak and CMB and Asenge. So that's always going to be like a topic of discussion. But look, at the end of the day, if he ends up being a stable NBA player, that's important. What really matters is if we can get a star next year's draft.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you need that secondary guy, and Demin probably fits that role better than a AJ Debanza. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed that we took him at 8, and I know there's a lot of Net fans that feel the same way. Shooting looks good, but he has to just get a lot more physical. I remember there was one time he was taking it up. I don't know if you guys noticed this. He just stopped at the first sign of pressure at the free throw line and kicked it out to somebody on the wing. And that's something you'd like to see him maybe take it a little deeper and try to draw a foul. I don't know, man. I'm still not sold. I think his ceiling would be maybe a secondary option, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's okay that we're being honest here. Like I said, we're all rooting for Egor's development, and we hope he gets stronger. Yeah. But I'm glad you pointed that out, Pete, because he does need to get bigger and stronger. This is his first game, so we don't have to overreact. But at the same time, we're just telling what we see. So
this was a good game. Look,
he is 19, right?
He's 19.
He's 19 years old. I'm being a little harsh here, but
no, you're not being harsh at all. Like, it's fair criticism because it's like people want to see both sides of the argument.
Yeah. If you want like constant glazing, just go to Twitter.
Constant
funny, bro.
I will say this though, like he had a good game. Like 14 points and 4 of 6 shooting is great. Like that is a good rookie debut for a player like him. So that is something to be proud of. Like this is a good night for Egor Demin. Let's talk about the other.
I was gonna say let's get into Ben Saraf. I want to get into Ben Saraf real quick because to me he had outside of Egor, you could make it debatable who had the better game, but Ben had 8.7 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 2 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3 for 3, and 4 for 6 from the foul line. So um, Ben Saraf got the start, and we were kind of like, I think we knew because he had such a good preseason, and he just has that poise as a lead initiator. He has a big guard size. He's 6'6". He can see through. He can see over the defense, make good skip passes. So we saw Ben get 4 assists tonight, and then we just saw him be crafty. He was him. Go downhill, initiate contact, get to the line. But the concerns was Ben's shot. The 3-point shot, the mid range, the free throws. So I think that's kind of my main concerns with Ben going forward. But it was great seeing the positive was he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid to get to the rim, initiate contact, and get his hands dirty tonight. So what did you feel about it, Ben Saraf, Steph?
So I thought he was fine. I don't know. This is one of those things where because we lost like as badly as we did, and he was with the starters, who we're going to get into the rest of the starters later. He looked worse than he actually did. Look, had a ton of good passes to shooters. Was able to get into the paint, no issue. Struggled to score when he got there. Got stuffed multiple times at the rim by the bigs. I think it was Diabate and Cockburner. A couple times. Had a couple of decent paint jumpers. Was able to draw a contact and get to the free throw line a decent amount. Yeah, he has good, screen navigation, being able to get to the, just navigate through the screen, getting into the paint. But I don't know, the net spacing isn't that great, so his ability to kick out to shooters is limited because of that. Defensively, I don't know, he was fine in the half court. I didn't see any weaknesses. He, like the rest of the stars and the rest of the team, frankly, got killed in transition running back. A pretty okay start for Saraf. And I said this when we first evaluated him. Terrible Luka.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of played like terrible Luka. Didn't hit any of his threes. Was able to draw contact, get into the paint, and score using his size. Wasn't bad. I thought he was fine, but nothing too great. Eye popping. Like with Demin, at least, he had a ton of long bomb threes that really impressed me. There was no specific play with Sarah that really caught my eye.
He got 7 rebounds in a game that we got out rebounded 50-38. Your starting point guard gets 7 rebounds. I think he got more rebounds than Clax even. I have to check that, but
he led the team in rebounds.
Yeah. So there you go. I thought Saif, you kind of nailed it. Exactly what I was gonna say. Great poise. I think we have something here, boys. But that shot needs a lot of work. I think we could all agree with that.
I'll say this: and look, no disrespect to the guy, but if Saraf is our starting point guard, the team is just going to have severe limitations.
Yeah. I think he's still young. He's still a rookie, so it's we got to really work on his development. I can right now, if we were to get, this is fast forward thinking, and I'm gonna move on to the next rookie after this. But if we were to get a 2026, let's say we get a AJ or a Cam Boozer, since those guys are the play finishers, right? I don't think Ben Saraf would be. He would be a kind of a building kind of a bridge to the next guy, or would he be? Would you try to develop him to be that?
We joked about this. We're like, well, what about Ben? If we get AJ, what about Ben Saraf? And I'm like, well, what about him? Well, fly him a plane ticket to somewhere. It's dude, I'm no disrespect to any of these guys, but if we get AJ or Cam Boozer, man, dude, you saw their rookie debuts. These guys look like gods. Yeah. They look like they were touched by the basketball gods. They look insane. The instant we get any of these guys, nobody on the team matters except for those guys we get if we get them.
Oh, absolutely. They all become role players in my mind. If you get somebody like one of those guys, right? Absolutely.
Well, what did Cam Boozer have? 32, 11, and 4? His debut.
His debut, yes.
Yeah, the guy looks like a superstar.
Next up, I want to talk about so let's talk about Drake Powell because I think Nolan Trior. I want to get to know. I mean, we can have the one sentence. He took a three. He was
Yeah,
in
he took
for
a
what?
three and he hit it and he got into the paint.
Two
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
He took.
two
We'll
steals,
give you. Yeah, go ahead. Go
two
ahead.
steals, 9 minutes, boys. Two
Two
steals.
steals in 9 minutes. So that's our those are our takes on Nolan Trior. I know you were looking for some deep analysis. Sorry, Nolan Trior fans, but he wasn't in for that long. But Drake Powell did go out with an injury. We don't know exactly what it is. It looked like foot ankle, but he was in pain. The moments he was in, though, again, his athletic frame showed, and the defense a little bit, but it's like we were getting punched at the time by like 20, so I guess it didn't really matter. But what do you guys think for Drake Powell? Like, do you think he could be a better connective piece, or maybe the best connective piece outside of Yegor, if we get that star in next year's draft?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, look, he is a prototypical 3-and-D wing. The defense looks amazing. He had like a play where I don't know who it was. Like somebody was driving to the rim. He got the rebound, and he went coast to coast and did a nice Euro step over Miles Bridges.
Oh yeah, I remember
So
that Euro step.
it was his first play. Like really, that impressed me. So he could have easily like passed it up to Cam Thomas, but no, he took it into his own hands. Yeah, has the length, has the speed. Hope he's not like hurt seriously because we saw him limping off. But like he is the only like true wing we took in the draft that played the wing position in college. Yeah, I mean, I hope things work out, and I was okay with his rookie debut.
How you feel about Drake Pete?
I think he's ready for the NBA now. I hope he's not hurt because that was going to be one of the guys I really focused on. The Nets need some defenders, and you talked about him being like a connector to like the Nets team that playing for the playoffs or whatever it may be. Whether he starts at small forward in the future or comes off the bench, there's always a use for a 3-and-D guy, right?
Yeah, always. Like I said, it's a prototypical. It's one of those things. What the league is kind of. Katie said it a while ago. It's a wings league. It's kind of like a wings league right now. Wings league, and then I think big guard league because SGA, won the Finals MVP and he's the MVP right now. So we saw how SGA is just so effective, and I think teams are trying to build that lead big guard that is heliocentric. He can do it all: play make, score, rebound, at all high levels. So I think that's kind of like what the league is turning to, a bunch of wings, and we're seeing big men become wings now too. Like whereas Wemby's and these Chets where they have wing like skills but they're big. So it's like everybody's trying to be that prototypical wing. So great loss to start off the year. And I was telling the chat before this, I was like, this was one of the only games that we had a chance to win. And because it was the Hornets, and people think, the Hornets are probably the lesser talented team, but they have a lot of talent, but they're supposed to be like a mid-tier team. Now, the next 10 games, Pete, like there's a bunch of contenders on that list, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Opening day at the Barclays Center is against the Cavs.
Yeah.
Then we go on the road to see Spurs and Rockets back-to-back.
Loss.
We come home again for the Hawks, 76ers, Timberwolves, and then we go on the road against the Pacers.
That's all loss. That's like, how many losses is that? Like, so
a lot.
Last thing I want to say about Jordi Fernandez, because let's give the coach some ire too. And look, could be just me speculating, but I don't know. He kind of looked a little upset tonight. Which look again, the team was bad, of course, but to me, it's like, hey man, all you had to do was tank really badly last year, and we could have had like BJ Edgecombe, Ace Bailey, or Trey Johnson, but you didn't do that, and so Marks felt like he had to make this roster really, really bad, and now we're going to be really bad this year.
What was that quote, Saif, that you had?
He said, and shout out Eric Slater for the quote. Jordi Fernandez, when we faced adversity, we all went our separate ways. We're just doing things with no purpose, just running around.
Nails are right there. I know we want to wrap things up, so I'm just going to say the offense, it's rough to see something like this when you have a team with the talent level and having players try to fit into a system that doesn't really work for them. And that's what we saw tonight, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the what Jordy like the rotations tonight. It just look like I said. For me, I just want to lose. I told y'all before, like as long as we lose, I'm happy with it. You know, the lose part is, but I still want like to see the development. I still want to see all the rookies play. I want to see CT, you know, and Clags do their thing. And if I can get 82 competitive losses, I would do it. I would love 82 competitive losses, but this team it's gonna look nasty for it's gonna be a long season. Let's just say that it's going to be a long season. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. All our Twitter is scrolling at the bottom. Instagram is Nets Kingdom 1. Pete's channel, you know, Nets fans, you know. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. And appreciate you guys so much, and we'll be back.